Hi guys, my name is Jaden Alvarado and I'm currently enrolled in Dr. Ramito's Bio 399 class, This is Your Brain. For my neuroscience project, I chose to study amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. When we break down the name of this disease, we see that A means no or negative, myo refers to muscle, and trophic means nourishment. When we put this all together, the name translates to no muscle nourishment. This stems from the Greek word amyotrophia, meaning lacking muscle nourishment and sustenance. The second part of the name, lateral, describes the areas of the spinal cord where the nerve cells are affected. And finally, sclerosis refers to the stiffness and tightening of the limbs caused by the disease. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is a disease that causes neurodegeneration of the body's upper and lower motor neurons. These neurons communicate with our bodies, telling our muscles when to contract and move. The upper motor neurons include the cerebral cortex and brainstem. These upper motor neurons carry information down to the lower motor neurons, which are efferent neurons of the peripheral nervous system and connect the central nervous system with the muscle being innervated. Neurodegenerative diseases such as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis cause decay or deterioration of their neurons in the brain. Neurodegenerative diseases such as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis cause the neurons in the brain to decay or deteriorate. This disease affects an individual when the motor neurons of the cortex, brainstem, and spinal cord begin to degenerate and can no longer send signals to the muscles. This ultimately results in muscular atrophy and eventually paralysis. Individuals affected by ALS progressively lose their ability to walk, speak, swallow, and even breathe. There are two types of ALS: sporadic, meaning it occurs randomly and without a definite cause. This type makes up 90 to 95% of all cases. And familial, meaning that the disease stems from the genes of the family. ALS typically occurs in individuals between the ages of 40 and 60, though there have been incidences of much younger individuals. It was also observed that ALS is more prevalent in men than in women. And though there hasn't been a definite cause for ALS, researchers have made correlations between the disease dependent on age, gender, history of smoking, and genetics. Though researchers have been studying the disease for decades, no cure has been found. The majority of ALS deaths are caused by respiratory failure, and the average survival for an individual suffering from ALS is only 3 years. Although this disease affects the motor neurons of the body, it does not affect senses such as hearing, seeing, or even mental functioning of the brain. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is also referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, after Lou Gehrig, the first baseman for the New York Yankees from 1923 to 1939, suffered from ALS. The disease eventually forced him to end his career, and he died June 2, 1941, at the age of 37. Another individual affected by amyotrophic lateral sclerosis was Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, a renowned theoretical physicist, was one of the few individuals that suffered from ALS but managed to live decades with the disease. He was diagnosed with ALS at only 21 years old and lost his battle to amyotrophic lateral sclerosis in 2018 at the age of 76. Stephen Hawking's case was especially remarkable because of how long he lived with the disease, but also because after he lost his ability to speak, he used a clicker that he would control with his thumb. The nerve that allowed him to use his clicker slowly deteriorated, and he was no longer able to use the device anymore. However, he was then able to communicate using one cheek muscle that detected muscle tension from his glasses. And that concludes my presentation on amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.